He might have stayed for a girl.
I was going to ask. That's where the whole woman thing, I was like, there's got to be a
girl.
right?
Somebody's got to get a piece of this ass. Tell me this guy.
It can't just be us coming.
It can't be. I mean, surely somebody else noticed that he's firing his guns and riding horses.
He's that good with guns. I'm just saying.
These trigger fingers got other applications.
History, I'd like to follow me down the rabbit hole. History, I'd like to, frankly, I want to know.
Hello, and welcome to HILF, History I'd Like to Fuck, where history is a party and everybody's coming. I am your host, Dawn Brody, and our HILF today, he was a teenage gunslinger, a jailbreaking outlaw, a Wild West vigilante shot dead by Pat Garrett when he was only 21. Get ready to HILF Billy the Kid. Oh, and like Blackbeard and Al Capone, I mean, this guy is one of those real historical characters whose life was actually just so colorful and so dramatic that the facts sound like fiction. All right? And although he had a short life, right, and we only have one confirmed photograph of him, and it's just not that great of a photograph, there have been just reams of newspaper articles and volumes of books and hours of film devoted to his incredible life. In fact, it is the movie Young Guns from 1988, starring Emilio Estevez as Billy the Kid, that landed this guy on our HILF mattress today, because I pulled this HILF from the Fuck It Bucket, which is what I call the collection of your HILF requests. And it was made by a very special listener, my big sister, Anne, who had a Young Guns poster in her bedroom, girl, definitely in her college dorm room. And I'm pretty sure she probably still has one, like in the laundry room or maybe faded and curled somewhere in the garage, right? And deny it if you can. I bet you can't. But she's not my guest. My guest for this episode is actress and comedian Kerstin Porter, who has no idea what we're going to HILF today. She agreed to go in blind, and she joins me at my kitchen table just down to go down the rabbit hole, wherever it may lead. Okay? So you check your guns with the barkeep and try to keep your chaw in the spittoon, and let's get started. We're here. We're doing this.
Oh my gosh, we are.
I was trying to do a head count for like how many times you and I over the last like 6 months have run into each other at Flappers and been like, we have to do a HILF. And you're a fan, kinda. Like you always know. You always know what's going on. And I'm always like, you know what the latest episode was?
Oh, Dawn, I'm not kind of a fan. I am a fan. Oh. I definitely am.
Oh, that makes me so excited. How did you originally find the podcast? What brought you into my lair?
You.
Oh, from the Flappers, from meeting there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you were hosting at Flappers, and I was like, she's amazing. Oh. And then you said your podcast, and I was like, bummer, I don't really like history. And I forget, you mentioned some topic, and I was like, oh, shoot. Now I have to listen to this podcast.
Oh, good. That's good. It's always nice when a burden becomes a toy. We love that. And you were an installation at Flappers, and you're such a delightful addition to the place. You're hosting open mics. You're performing and emceeing all the time. You tell me about the game show that you created there.
Oh, yeah. So it's basically comics perform about their little set, and then their little set.
Well, who knows? Maybe it's not long. You don't got long.
Exactly. It's a short set, and then we play a game, a party game. And I try to get the audience in on it. So usually the audience is giving some part of the game. Like if it's truth or dare, they're giving the truth or the dare, and then the comedians have to play with it. And they're always caught off guard, and they're so much fun.
So you're doing comedy, you're an actress, you are a fitness coach, because like, for those of you who can't see, rockin' bad girl, she can grab a foot, put it straight up over her head, Like, it's really impressive. If I could do it, I would do it way more often than you do. And you do it a lot.
I do it every set.
She does it all the time. And this is one of my favorites, is that you're a creature, a monster on Crypt TV, and you also appeared on the Travel Channel because your rockin' body can do some very creepy shit when you want it to. Like, your joints get all nuts and your face gets all nuts. And with a great makeup artist, it's like, hold on to your hat.
Yeah. The face, not so much because, well, they put me in a big old mask where you can't see who I am or anything.
Well, scary. So you get like a Stranger Things no face.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, the body, they love. I can do back bends and all sorts of little contortionist moves. And so, yeah, they do love that. And they do love a small body because then they can put a lot of creature outfit around that little body.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. What's your favorite creature to play?
It's Miss Anity. I love Miss Anity. She's like this spider lady, and I get to do the back bend and walk around, and it really creeps people out.
Yeah. Now, do you find that people in horror and monster realm are more bizarre than your stand-up comedy people, or more sort of grounded than your stand-up comedy people?
Oh, no, they're bizarre.
Bizarre. Yeah, I kind of found that, like, monster people are crazy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and they're obsessed with it, and they are weirdos, and they definitely like freaking people out.
Yeah.
I feel like comedy and horror are the same thing, but one has a punchline that makes you laugh, and the other one has a punchline that makes you scream and cry.
Okay. Yeah. And like, comics get their inspiration from screaming and crying. Yeah. And I think monster people are usually laughing their ass off while they're dripping blood all over their victims, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's remarkable.
Yeah. It's basically the same.
I love that. I am super susceptible to scary stuff. So I love it, but I also I'm not obsessed because it actually scares me. Like, when I want to get scared, I go and I get scared. But then I'm like, no, you stay out of my house now. I can't have like a scary thing in my house all the time because it will scare me every time I go into that room.
Oh, yeah. I grew up in the mountains, nothing around. The scariest thing to me to this day is sitting in that house where it's pitch black outside. You cannot see. If somebody was standing next to the window, you would not see them.
Yeah.
And it's so quiet and so dark. And that is the scariest thing to me.
Yeah. I grew up, my parents split when I was 10, and my dad stayed deep in the country where there's no lights, no one hears you scream, 85 acres of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre horror movie stuff. And my mom lived in town half a block from the county jail, and you could like see people moving around in the windows with bars.
Oh my gosh.
So there's plenty of, so really wherever I slept, I was just tits deep in horror town. Like, no movie was safe. It was tough to sleep. Fucking A, right. We're going to get shitty with some history right now. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Oh my God, because check this out, guys. She has no idea what the subject is. This is one of them. Every now and again, I told her every now and again. And as a fan, I ask the people, why did you assign me this topic? Why are you so interested in this? In this, you don't even know what we're about to HILF right now.
I have no clue. And I'm so excited about this tease.
Oh, and it's like an intimate one. It's really personal because I have, as my listeners will know, what's called a fuck it bucket. And if you are one of the many people who have messaged me in one of the many ways you can and said, Dawn, you totally got to HILF this thing. I mean it. I put it in the fuck it bucket, and then either my guest draws it out if they're not sure what they want to do, or I draw it out because it's time. And in this instance, this one was submitted to the fuck it bucket by my big sister, Anne. Hi, Anne. Many years ago. And it is Billy the Kid.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Famous outlaw bandito. So before we get into it, what is your immediate reaction? What do you know about Billy the Kid? How do you feel going in?
I honestly got really hot and a little bothered.
Great. That's exactly what we're going for here.
Western hottie.
Yes.
Got some shooting guns and stuff, but yet he's still like really hot because he, I think, cares about people. Maybe there's some sympathetic and like angsty man.
I can fix him.
Yeah. That's why I'm so hot. Oh my God, I totally could fix him.
We could fix him.
Let me at him.
Oh, please give me that chance. Yeah, he is, right? Not just one of the great like Western heroes, right? But like American hero, like cultural icon, touchstone. He got into Bill and Ted's phone booth, man. I don't think you
that's
get plucked out of Bill and Ted's phone booth for being too obscure. You know what I mean? And this is so much fun. So I'm going to start as I do with my sources because, girl, I always go hard. But like in this instance, I did go particularly hard because listeners may know I recently had a break. And what I said is I'm on my break, which just means I'm not releasing new episodes, but I'm still working. And in fact, all I did was read 3 books about Billy the Kid and watch a ton of documentaries because it's incredibly exciting stuff. Okay. So I'm showing Kerstin 2 books that I'm holding right now. The first book I listened to, it was written in 1882, which is the year after Billy the Kid dies, and it's written by Pat Garrett, the guy who killed him.
Oh, yes.
Right?
I learned something already.
So
we
Pat,
are off to
I know.
a good start.
Spoiler alert. Billy the Kid died. Pat Garrett killed him.
Wait, he died?
There actually is some dispute about that, but we'll get to that later. So imagine Pat Garrett writes a book, a biography about Billy the Kid that comes out a year after he dies, like hot press, make yo money. It's a great book. Then there were tons of books like this one. This one's called The Saga of Billy the Kid, written by Walter Noble Burns. It was written in 1925. One of the first times that this is considered olden days. You know what I mean? This history is like 40 years old. We are doing a retrospective on these famous outlaws, and it's bullshit. They're made up. You know what I mean? They took a figure that people knew and were intrigued by, and then just write whatever the fuck they want. Or take maybe a tiny piece of truth and completely exaggerate it, and it builds the legend, and it like makes things nuts. I wanted to read it, even though I knew it was bullshit, because this is how the legend was built. You know what I mean? I want to know the bullshit, even if I know it is bullshit. That makes sense.
Yeah. And I know it's bullshit because he's definitely hotter than this picture.
Isn't it a shame that that's the only like authentic picture of Billy the Kid that we have?
Is that really?
It really is. And here's the other dumb thing. This is how dumb history can get sometimes. People stare at this picture and they're like, he kind of looks like a cross-eyed, buck-toothed kind of loser. And I really want him to be Emilio Estevez. You know what I mean? So like, what do I do with this thing? But people agree he was actually way more attractive than that. The people who did know him were like, please, God damn it. It's a damn shame that this is the only one. But then this is the other dumb thing history did. Because it's the only picture, they were like, look what I've just discovered. Write it down, historians. Billy the Kid was left-handed. And then everyone goes, you dumb shit. All the images are reversed. You know what I mean? These were put in the olden days on the back for it, you dumb shit. So people have written whole novels about the left-handed gun. It's like, oh my God, you dummies. Anyway, there's a couple of pictures there that will give you, he's in the back, but you're like, okay, his eyes appear to both look in the same direction. Okay, so then our third book, this is the one called Billy the Kid, A Short and Violent Life, written by a bona fide historian. Yes, we love those. Robert M. Utley. And here's how you know that it's a real one is because a third of the book is bibliography, baby.
Oh
because this guy did his homework. He did what I did, only way more. He read 1,000 of these books, and he actually took the time to go through corresponding newspapers, letters, journal entries to what was real, what was not real, what legend led to, though, what actual thing. And it is amazing. I have a page mark there if you want to look at more pictures of the people.
Oh, is that what the marking? Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. There's that picture.
See, there's some more handsome. I'll tell you who's hot is a guy named Dick Brewster, who is Charlie Sheen in the movie. Oh, and I should point out 2 more sources that I have to. Okay. A documentary linked in our sources that is, it's just a guy who talks and then fades in and out of not only publicly available photographs, but videos that he has definitely taken from the front seat of his own truck. Okay. But then also what's better than that? And he knows his shit. And his name is Jerry Skinner. What a guy. Big old nerd. Have the time of his life telling the story. And I've watched it twice. And then the 1988 blockbuster film, Young Guns. Do you know the movie Young Guns?
I don't.
Oh, how much fun you are going to have when we wrap it up today. Get thee to a bottle of wine and some Young Guns, girl, because the cast, Emilio Estevez, Charlie Sheen, Kiefer Sutherland, among others, Terrence Stamp, Jack Palance. It is fantastic. And I've seen this movie thousands of times. It was like 88, right? VCR. I also grew up in the middle of nowhere, okay? Yeah. We do not have cable. We have nothing. So what we have is the VHS tapes that are in the house.
Yeah.
And Young Guns was just one of them VHS tapes in the house. So I can't actually count the number of times I've seen Young Guns, but it's probably in the thousands. It is deeply ingrained in my like psychological DNA. And I thought, I'm going to have actually a real pickle untethering from the history what my body just thinks has happened if this movie Young Guns proves to be drastically inaccurate. Do you know what I mean? And good news, it's like way more accurate than you'd think. I mean, there's like really beautifully epitomized pieces of documented history that they totally nail in the movie, actually.
Oh, I'm so excited to watch this and have some wine.
Oh, God. And Kiefer Sutherland, like, yes. To set the mood, to get our spurs firmly affixed and our suede vests fastened on our way into this trip, a story. Oh. Come with me, okay, to February 18th, 1878. You and I are part of a group called The Regulators. That means just hired dudes who work for a guy named John Tunstall. And we have various skills. We rustle cattle. We are a bodyguard, hired guns. And we are on the dusty trail outside of the city of Lincoln, New Mexico. And we've been on the road all fucking day, okay? And we're not exactly running away from anything. However, the reason why we've been riding all fucking day is because we are trying to avoid conflict. Because our boss, John Tunstall, who's building his life and his ranch out here in the middle edge of nothing, has made some incredibly powerful enemies. And through some legal fuckery, they are staking claim to like a ton of his cattle and a ton of his property. And he caught wind that a bunch of violent guys were coming to one of his properties to take stuff that they said was his. And he was like, you know what we're going to do? We're not going to be there, right? He doesn't like conflict. That's kind of John Tunstall's deal. He avoids conflict whenever possible. So he essentially leaves a note that says, take what you think you do, right? See you in court. And at this point, we got like 7 or 8 of us. A couple guys are riding a few 100 yards or so ahead to make sure the road is clear. You and me are riding with Billy the Kid and a guy named Morrison. And then behind us is our boss, John Tunstall, and he's kind of like driving a few horses ahead of us. And it's hot, we're hungry, and our butt hurts. And I don't know if you've ridden horses much, but like riding all day, no matter how much of your life you spent riding all day, your butt hurts, okay? And all of a sudden, wild turkeys take off from next to the road, and we're like, yee-haw, fucking dinner, right? So we naturally chase after these wild turkeys, and we start heading up into this ridge, and we follow them up to the top of this ridge. We get one of the turkeys, and we can see now from this height something our friend John can't see. Our friend John, who's right now down there on that road all by himself, which is a group of riders coming up on him fucking fast. And like, we've been in this business a minute. We know what's going on, right? So Billy and you and me, we take off to go warn the guys that are ahead of us, right? Warn them, rally them, get them going. Morrison goes running down that ridge to defend John, warn John Tunstall, right? Whatever you can do. While we're riding with Billy, we fucking take shots. Those guys on the road saw us riding up. They're shooting at us. Fuck. We take cover. And we're telling our guys, they're going after John. Shit. Right? And then we hear more shots. And then there's a little silence. And then Morrison comes back alone and says they shot John Tunstall. And not only did they shoot and kill him, but they shot and killed his horse. Kerstin, they killed the horse, Kerstin.
I was going to ask. I was like, no horse got killed during this, please.
Horse. And they killed the horse on purpose. And they killed the horse on purpose because John Tunstall loved that horse.
Oh, those jerks.
Exactly.
Ooh, I'm mad now.
And a couple days later, when John Tunstall's body's laid out there, Billy the Kid walks up and looks at it. And we hear him say, I'll get some of them. before I die.
That was good opener. That was good opener. Except for the horse stuff.
I know,
Everything
but it
else.
makes you mad, doesn't it? It makes you want to get on a horse too and join them, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And this is what begins sort of the climax of what is known as the Lincoln County War. Part of the reason why the West is so especially wild at this particular time is because of pretty much everything that has unfolded for the previous 30 years. So we talk about Lincoln, and it's Lincoln, New Mexico. And even if you're not from the United States, you can kind of picture those sort of big, square-looking southwestern states, right? But at this particular time, it's a territory. And the New Mexico territory includes what is now New Mexico and Arizona and Utah and parts of Nevada. I mean, it is an enormous, somewhat nebulous. And if you've ever driven across this shit, it takes you, right?
Yeah, there's nothing.
Nothing. And you look around in 2025 in your electric self-driving car, and you look out the window and go, Jesus, fuck, a lot of fucking nothing.
And hot.
And it started like we acquire, for lack of a better word, this whole territory over the course of 2 years in the Mexican-American War. Between 1846 and 1848, all of that became the U.S. territory. It's not states yet, it's just ours. So that's kind of weird. We don't know exactly what that means. We won it from the Mexicans, but what are we gonna do with that, right? Then in 1849, there's the gold rush, which has to go through there and also on the other side of there. So that sets up a whole another set of routes and people and how, interests, outposts, and that kind of stuff. And then in the Civil War, the military starts to send entirely new groups of men out there who are just sort of like, okay, don't let the Confederacy come out here or the Indians rise up. Just hang out here. You know what I mean? And like, that was a weird, but it's not a state, it's for federal, it's very strange. It's all very nuts, okay? Mm-hmm. But if you're looking at a person, and I know nobody wants to HILF like law and like real estate litigation. However, if you own a ton of land out there in all of that vastness, okay, it is perfectly plausible that you and your father and your great-great-grandfather built houses that are on this thousands of acres. You've got a little cemetery where several generations are buried, and you've been herding these cattle for decades, right? Centuries even. And it's possible that that legal document that says that that land is yours was recognized by Spain. Oh, fuck. Well, then Mexico declared its independence from Spain, and maybe you were lucky enough in your family's generation to then get this legal, I own this, you have my name on a title somewhere in your official files with Mexico. But Mexico, their revolution was very different than ours. They didn't have a George Washington and a constitution right away. It was really revolution, coup, and Mexico went kind of nuts after their independence, so who knows? And now America's like ours. So what do you do? What is your property? Who do you pay taxes to? Who defends you? Who's to say that somebody can't just come take it from you? And who can come take it from you? And the U.S. government is basically like, you know what? We've worked really hard for about 30 years to get all that. Now we've got it. It belongs to whoever gets there first.
What?
Yeah. Settlers' rights.
But they're already there.
Right. So, right. It gets wild. And what becomes abundantly clear is it's going to be you and my guys versus him and his guys. Long before the communication or the mail, even if I get a stamp of approval by the most official person, the most official person might be deposed, might be dead, might be in some other thing. And by their time their answer comes back, my entire family has been slaughtered and the judge is gone. There is no justice out here, and there's no way to get justice out here, right? It's crazy. So while the theory is, what a great opportunity for an entrepreneurial young person to just go start a new life. And indeed, that happened on occasion. But what happened way more often is corrupt rings of powerful, connected individuals. Sometimes they're called the elites that are like, oh, it's whoever gets there first, huh? Well, we're going to spend all of our capital, make sure it's us who gets there first every time. And somebody goes, what if somebody else gets there first? And they go, we said, we got there first. every single time. These are politicians, these are attorneys, these are judges, these are local law enforcement. They are all connected. They're corrupt, they're self-serving, and it is loosely known as the Santa Fe Ring. Okay. That is sort of the situation with like the West in general. It's a real like broad scope of like why it's nuts in the West.
And when they say that they got there first, does that mean they killed the other person? Or
In
they
many
just, like,
instances,
scare 'em off?
sure. So in sometimes they go, oh, we see that there is no official deed. No one owns this yet. So that could be true, which means they're just using their capital to like take everything first, which is kind of greedy, but that's fine. That's not un-American. That's not illegal to be greedy and just take as much as you can. But yes, certainly they are trying to take from like even medium powerful people. If you're claiming you have it, but it's sitting on top of a water source that I really need, I'm just going to flex in the various ways I can to take it from you. And your appeals will fall nowhere. No one will care. No one will hear you scream litigiously, you know what I mean, out here. So that's, like I said, kind of the scope of things. Now, like, after the Civil War, we're in the 1870s. It's the first time that those interests have competition. People coming out there. They're like, all right, Mexican-American War is done. The gold has been found. Peace in the United States. Let's go west. And you start to have more challenges, more attempts, okay? So that's it. So let's zoom in on Lincoln County. The corrupt version of what's happening there is called the House. The House is a complete monopoly on the Lincoln County residents. They own the only store. They own the only bank. Because they own the only bank, they own the debt of the sheriff, the attorney, and the district attorney. Okay, they've locked it down. And the two guys who are initially at the head of the House are Murphy and Fitz, and they are awful. Okay. In 1876, an Englishman named John Tunstall comes into Lincoln. And not only, and we have several problems, the House has several problems with John Tunstall fucking coming into Lincoln, okay? First and most obvious, he's competition. And not only is he competition, he opened a store and a bank.
Oh, that jerk.
Exactly. But he's fucking talking about how don't like the monopoly that's here, right? Ugh. He's asking people, do you like that they charge you whatever they want and then to boost your interest? And then is that
like
cool?
being owned by these guys?
Yeah, exactly. He's riling people up. John Tunstall has also been hiring a bunch of their best guys, namely Alex McSween, who's a bitchin' lawyer, and William H. Bonney, sometimes called Kid Antrim, sometimes called Billy the Kid, who's just one of the best gunslingers anyone's ever seen. He's obsessed with his guns, and he can do nuts, crazy, incredible things with them. He can ride on a horse and pick up a handkerchief off the ground. I mean, he's like Buffalo Bill before Buffalo Bill, and he's young and he's snappy. And fuck, he left the Murphy Dolan organization to work for John Tunstall. Fuck, along with that goddamn lawyer. And it's like the last straw, right?
Oh, so he was a bad guy who turned good guy.
Isn't it the best?
Oh, God, I love him.
And so here we are, where all of a sudden, some of the sheriff's deputies and some other banditos that work for the Murphy Dolan ring ride up on John Tunstall, as they did in our opening story, and shoot him dead. Let's meet Billy and see how Billy even gets into this. Are you ready to get into his pants?
Oh my God, can you not tell by my huge smile? I am waiting.
Yeah, your boner is like lifting up the table right now, Kerstin.
I'm sorry, I can't help it.
I know, it's okay. It happens all the time. Our guy Billy starts in Ireland with his mom, okay? Mom comes, as so many Irish immigrants did, during the famine with her two sons. What? Billy has a brother? Ooh. Yes, his name is Joseph. And her husband. We have no idea what happened to her husband.
Oh.
What we know next in the life of Billy, who is actually, his birth name is Henry. So he's born Henry McCarty. And his mom, Catherine, marries a guy named William Antrim. We have a wedding record of Catherine McHenry marrying William Antrim, and in the presence were her two sons, Joseph and Henry. Okay. She seems really nice. Everyone says she's so pretty. She's so funny. She could get a whole room laughing. And she dies of tuberculosis. Oh. And our guy, William Antrim, looks at these two boys and is like, not it.
What?
Good luck out there.
No.
And they go into foster care. And as is true throughout time, in all places, maybe it's not the worst case scenario, but it is nobody's best case scenario to be in foster care. Mm-hmm. And it's bad and it's abusive, and they both split. As far as I can tell, we don't know what happened to Joseph. I couldn't find anything about Joseph. I know. But Henry Antrim now, who then quickly goes by the name Kid Antrim because he is so young and he's Antrim's kid. It's just sort of a nickname that comes around. Is running around doing bullshit in Arizona, right? As a foster kid, just like causing problems. And then he kills a guy, a blacksmith.
Oops. Was it an oopsie?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't murder, but it was a face-off. It was by the code of the time, it was a justifiable encounter, but not legal. So he fucking splits and goes to New Mexico because guess what? There's this wonderful war going on where there are two dueling factions in the city of Lincoln County, this John Tunstall and this Murphy Dolan, and they pretty much have a revolving door of gunslingers that they are paying top dollar to come and do fuckery on the other. Steal their horses, kill their bad guys, we'll kill their bad guys, or just stand around and try to keep us from not killing each other's bad guys. Bottom line is a lot of jobs. Got a gun? A lot of jobs for you here. So he goes out and he joins up with this guy named Jesse Evans, and he works for Murphy Dolan. Mm-hmm. And then he has a change of heart.
Oh, yeah. He's like, no, this Murphy guy sucks.
He sucks. He's a bad guy.
Mm-hmm. I realize I'm a good guy.
I'm a good guy.
Oh.
Now, here's where our Young Guns diverges slightly from the history. It is the Murphy Dolan gang at this point. Like Murphy Dolan, Murphy's kind of the old guy, Dolan's the young guy, and they're the new partners because his original partner, Fitz, got cancer and fucked off back to Europe and died. And Murphy is also sick. And so he is not present. He is rarely in Lincoln for any of this stuff. And the guy you got to focus on at this point where Billy enters the story is Dolan. And Dolan is a real cunt. Like cuntier than the rest of them, and now has singular power. Right? It's Murphy / Dolan, but only in financial interests. He's the one in Lincoln who's like making all of the decisions, right? And causing all of this fuckery with John Tunstall. Buckle up for this. This is so crazy, Kerstin. Okay, so John Tunstall's dead. And it's not just the regulators, right? These guys that worked for him that were sad and upset.
Yeah.
It was like a lot of people in town. Remember I said he was like, oh, you guys like this monopoly? And people are like, hell no. So there's like plenty of other people that are like, I'm sorry. Like, I know the West is wild girl, but you can't just ride up and shoot some guy in the back.
I don't need it that wild. Like, take it down a notch.
Right, wild-ish.
Yeah, like a 6 wild.
Wild essence of wild. And the horse thing, like, you pricks.
Yeah.
So there was a whole and for this reason, our guy Alex McSween, who is the lawyer that John Tunstall had hired away, if you remember, and McSween and Tunstall had become partners. McSween is like, fuck no. And he manages to get a judge in Lincoln County to deputize the regulators and give them official legal cover to go round up the men that shot John Tunstall, which is wild. It's so great. You kind of, you're like, that doesn't seem right. Like, they're going to kill him, right? Like, this is a license to kill. But they're like, no. The warrant specifically says, do your best to bring them in alive. It's like, okay, great. But what inevitably happens is the regulators ride out. They kill one guy right away. They do arrest 2 guys, and they bring them in, and they're like, no, you take them straight to jail. And they're like, we will. And then they shot him, and we're like, they would try to escape. So we had to shoot them when they tried to escape.
Oh, whoops.
All of this obscures an already obscure thing. Keep in mind, this is a territory out in the middle of nowhere. Messages are coming back and forth. One judge said one thing, another judge said another thing. And while McSween was like getting these guys officially deputized, a man named Sheriff Brady, who is on the payroll of Dolan and is the sheriff of Lincoln, goes and gets his own warrants and various judges to say, we can go arrest Alexander McSween. Because he sent out these assassins who just killed 3 guys. And exactly, your face is like...
Kind of, yeah.
Right?
They're like, here's a piece of paper. Here's a little medal that says you can go and arrest these guys. Good job.
Good job. Yeah, and even as like a fan, I'm like, I would agree it seems outside of the law and right, but I think they're on a vengeance is what they're doing, is their righteous vengeance, but no, it doesn't seem legal. And so Sheriff Brady has his warrant to go arrest Alexander McSween for sending out these assassins. Mm-hmm. He's in the middle of Lincoln, not just Lincoln County, the city of Lincoln, the heart of Lincoln and Lincoln County, where these 2 stores were set up on the main street and the whole thing. And he's thinking these outlaws, these guys who've been killing, got their deputization revoked. They're in Mexico by now. Because these banditos, these regulators are just like the rest of them, which is they are out for themselves, they have no code of loyalty, and they will be long gone by now. And so Sheriff Brady, and his 4 deputies are walking down the middle of the street in Lincoln to go arrest Alexander McSween. And they are ambushed by the regulators. Sheriff Brady is shot dead in the middle of the street in the city of Lincoln. One of his deputies, boom, files down dead next to him, and the other 2 scatter.
Ooh, I was kind of on board, but now I kind of feel bad.
It is definitely an execution, right? And in the movie Young Guns, Emilio Estevez runs out and sort of makes fun of Sheriff Brady and then shoots him point blank in the head. It's very brutal. It's very sexy. It's very exciting. Okay. Many other legendary versions of the death of Sheriff Brady, which definitely happened in the middle of the street. Like that much is not revoked, or that much is not questioned, is that all of the regulators shot kind of simultaneously from a point of cover. But what definitely happened is Billy the Kid came running out from cover after the dust settled and took Sheriff Brady's gun. Oh, yeah. We know that because of how many people saw it, okay? And it is this moment, Kerstin, that the legend of Billy the Kid truly begins in the minds of people. Everything I've told you up until this point, he's there, but he's just watching stuff. He's around. He happens to be part of it. He is one of those nameless people that have been in the story so far, where I was like, 2 more guys are riding ahead, a few guys are riding behind. You know what I mean? Billy the Kid becomes the guy in this story when he runs out into the middle of the street and takes Sheriff Brady's gun because of how many people knew him there and were like, wow, is that a thing? They didn't go to Mexico. And we don't know if they shot Sheriff Brady in the middle of the street because they loved John Tunstall so much, they pledged to avenge him, and so they're going to avenge him even if they revoke their deputy. Like that alone is like gonna fill a great newspaper article. Or did they shoot Sheriff Brady because he had a warrant to go arrest their friend Alexander McSween? And they simply won't tolerate this fucking corrupt ring taking another one of their beloved friends. Either way.
Oh, I like this.
We're down, right? We are in with these guys. It's a 5-day battle in Lincoln. It starts in the streets. McSween has had desperados and gunslingers posted in various parts throughout Lincoln, knowing that they were probably going to come to his house, take the store, get him. And slowly they start to get pushed back until they're all, including Billy the Kid, trapped inside Alexander McSween's home with his wife inside with him. And they are starting to get hungry and they are shooting out the windows. And this is where being a corrupt politician really comes in handy because he got the army to come into town. Okay,
real cornered.
Dolan gets the U.S. mother-loving military to roll up on Alexander McSween's house with a Gatling gun. And they won't surrender and they won't come out and they won't surrender and they won't come out. And we've shot out the window for so many days now. It's like, okay, what are we going to do next? And they're like, we're going to burn your house down with you inside. And they do. They get fire and they light the house on fire. And they let the women out, which is nice. Alexander's wife goes out. But this house is burning and all shit's about to break loose. And this is the final scene of Young Guns for good reason. because in that moment of crazy desperation, Billy the Kid and many of his friends burst out the back door, guns ablazing, and escape. They make a wild, unlikely, flame-spitting, gun-slinging, horse-jumping escape and get away.
That is the finale.
It is amazing. And Alexander McQueen and Alexander McSween is tragically gunned down in the front yard. Now, in Young Guns, they shoot him with the Gatling gun, and it is nasty. And his wife is like, why?
Aww.
In reality, he was shot a ton of times, and his wife was like, why? But they didn't use the Gatling gun. But that's only because, like, I feel like the movie people, like, they had a Gatling gun, though, right? And then the historians were like, yes, but they never fired it. And they were like, See, the thing, there's a rule in storytelling. You show a gun, shoot a gun. You can't show a gun, not shoot a gun. So they do it properly. Okay. And that McSween is dead. His house is in ashes. Murphy is dead. He died on his hospital bed outside of town, right? That is the end as the smoke clears of the Lincoln County War. And I'm devastated to tell you that Dolan, I can see it on your face. Dolan fucking wins. Crime fucking pays. Dolan takes over Tunstall's store. He takes over his ranch.
No.
He gets all his cattle.
Oh, not the cows.
I know. Alexander McSween's wife, to your question about the women, she rises to power. She stays in town and she sticks it to him every chance she can get. And she lives to be an old lady.
Hell yeah, she does.
Which is great. But yeah, that fuck makes it. Which is where we're going to take a short break because the Lincoln County War is over. However, the legend and the mythic status of Billy the Kid has only just begun.
For 4 decades, Kylie Minogue has been a global queen of pop, ruling the charts in Australia, the UK, and across Europe. Though aside from a couple all-time smashes, stateside success has often eluded her. Pop Pantheon's new 4-part podcast series explores Kylie's enduring allure, fascinating eras, and her unique duality as a niche gay cult hero here in America and global phenomenon everywhere else. Join me, DJ Louis XIV, and some amazing guests as we travel light years through the Impossible Princess's classic hits and albums, iconic music videos, head-spinning reinventions, and all the delicious delights of nearly 40 years of indelible pop classics. Listen and subscribe to Pop Pantheon for free on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Before we climb back in the saddle with Billy, a moment for those who keep their spurs firmly in my giddy up. My patrons. Their generosity provides me with the books and subscriptions and software I need to keep the history coming again and again. The latest to jump in bed with the pod include Pikeman S., Colleen H., Melissa G., and Mystical Bandit Hunter. Yes. So, to be counted among their honored ranks, find out more about the live shows, buy HILF merch, and so much more. Head over to patreon.com/HILF podcast or at HILF podcast on all social media. And
Follow me, follow me, follow me, follow. Follow me, follow me, follow me, follow. Follow me, follow me, follow me, follow. Follow me, follow me, follow me, follow.
we are back. Kerstin, I feel like we both have, I've come 3 times. I don't know how many orgasms you've had, but
I stopped counting.
I mean, it's extraordinary. This guy,
Yeah.
he's like ping, 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 like his little gun, just bam, orgasm, bam.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that got me too.
Boom. See what I mean? Trigger finger, boom. Oh, there's another one. So we've met the guy, we've met the Wild West, we've become familiar with the city of Lincoln. We've met friends, we've lost friends. Friends have come, friends have died. Do you have, as we go forward into our story, any questions?
Oh my God, I'm just so excited. I'm so curious what's going to happen.
Oh, good.
And I really want Dolan to die. Is that bad? I feel bad.
I know it's okay. A lot of people in the story want Dolan to die. And I'm sorry, he just keeps getting richer and continuing to get what he wants until he dies at an old age.
I think you got that wrong.
I wish I did.
It was Joseph, his brother.
Oh.
Came back. And
Great.
he actually, so Billy the Kid died, and it was really a bummer because he did get to see him on his deathbed and got to say his goodbyes.
Oh, I love this fan fiction.
Yeah. And then, oh my God, I'm going to write this. And there's going to be sparkles, not vampires, just sparkles.
Oh, I love it. We'll call it Billy the Kid / Kid Brother.
Yes. Yes. Oh, and he takes vengeance and he kills Doyle. Yeah.
No, you know what he did? Because Dolan is a clean shaven little squib. And then in his older years, he has a beard. So here's what actually happened.
Yes.
Joseph McCarthy, AKA Billy the Kid's older brother, comes back, avenges Billy's death, kills Dolan, and assumes his identity. And he's the one who lives in comfort into his old age.
Oh my gosh.
And nobody outs him because Dolan was such a prick that who wouldn't rather have a nice guy?
Oh yeah, they love him. They're like, thank God.
I love it. See, this is how alternate histories, not only how good alternate histories are made, but how they become the history. People go, we like that one better. We're going to stick to that
That's
one.
what that should be anyway.
Yeah. Let me just give you for perspective that our kid Billy comes onto the scene at about 15. That's when he gets out of foster care and kills that guy in Arizona. And he dies, spoiler alert, when he's 21. So every adventure that you've pretty much ever heard about has happened over the course of only 6 years, which blows my mind because I'm like, I fucking lived in LA for a second and it's been 11 years.
Yeah.
So what?
And wait.
Yeah. Oh, I love questions. Love it.
Okay. I was just going to raise my hand whenever I have
Yes. Kerstin, go ahead.
Thank you, Don.
Yes.
So my question is, so you said he pretty much was unknown until he goes and grabs the sheriff's gun.
Yes.
Was he a good shooter before then? Did people know him for being a good shooter, or was that kind of unknown and then he took the sheriff's gun and they were like, whoa, he can shoot now? Is the gun the hero of this story?
Oh, I love that. He is always good with a gun. And here are the things that we know from the retrospective part of history, which is the people who grew up with him, the people who met him before the execution of Sheriff Brady would say, all the downtime, because if you work on a ranch, there's a lot of downtime. It's sort of like soldiers in the trenches. You're like, yes, when things get scary, they are fast and scary. But the vast majority of your hours are just sitting there. Mm-hmm. Right? And so same thing on a farm in this time is or on a ranch is most of the time is fucking around. And everybody agreed. His friends, his enemies, people who used to love him and thought he was a bastard were like, oh, that guy would spend all of his time practicing with his guns.
So he
would spin and he could do cool ass tricks. He could spin them on his index fingers in opposite directions, stop and hit 2 targets. One of the things he prided himself on was being able to fire while riding and pick things up off the ground.
Like the hanky.
Exactly. So this is what the Wild West shows were sort of based on. I mean, when the Wild West becomes less wild and we get some interstates and some state lines and some jurisdictions and some order out there, then the nostalgia of a Wild West show really demonstrates some of that stuff that, he just did organically and naturally. He did before it was cool. You know what I mean? But yeah.
They were his fidget spinners.
They were his fidget spinners. Yeah.
Pistols.
He was, by all accounts, an excellent marksman. And it's why he went, because he could get hired. Yeah. When Dolan hired him in the first place, he had to demonstrate his skill with a firearm. Otherwise, why would they pay him? Why would they employ him, right? And it was part of the reason why Tunstall was like, I didn't need you to work for me. And when you ask if people knew it, there's one particular moment when Tunstall is still alive and the Dolan faction has basically occupied his store. They claim, right, we own everything. We take ownership of all of your shit because of some fuckery in the legal system. And he brings specifically Billy the Kid with him to confront them because they would know that kid's fucking good.
He had a reputation.
I don't want to draw because he's a faster draw. There's your reputation in that case does you a lot of good.
Oh, yeah.
Can keep you out of trouble, if you know what I mean. Uh-huh. That was a great question.
Oh, thank you.
The Lincoln County War is essentially over, and Dolan is the victor. Fuck. And the sheriff of the town, the one who took over for Sheriff Brady and then shoots Alexander McSween, the governor now of New Mexico is like, we need to fucking tone it down. Okay? Everyone's dead. Okay? And there's too much violence going on. And so Daddy's going to come down there and crack some skulls and get some order. Okay? And one of the first things that happens, we get a new sheriff, Pat Garrett. This guy is known to be honest, to be straightforward, but also he's been out here long enough that he's not going to bother with, you stole a few cattle, you got into a bar fight and shot a guy. We're not going to fuck with that shit. If we fucked with everybody's shit like that, we'd be here forever. We're going to, right, go after
Turn
the real.
a blind eye, but also kind of keep an eye on things.
Right. We got the bad hombres.
Wild six again.
Yeah, I mean, we can keep it loose out here. Yeah. We don't got to be nerds all of a sudden. Exactly right. And so Governor Lew Wallace says, here's a new deal. So everybody just calms the fuck down. Plus, what are you even fighting over? There's one guy, Dolan, he's one. Blanket pardons, okay? Because everyone's, both sides, forget it. From the past to now. You do some bullshit now, like stealing each other's cattle and picking on each other and burning each other's shit down, I'm going to come down on you extra hard. Okay? So blanket pardon. Oh, by the way, not Billy the Kid. Blanket pardon for pretty much everyone unless they have a murder warrant for shooting a sheriff in the middle of the fucking street. You don't get the pardon. Everyone else does. So Billy the Kid is like, what? Oh, I get it. That seems fair.
He's like, yeah, I still got that cool reputation.
Yeah,
what?
That tracks. But then Lew Wallace starts to have his secondary problem, which is a true monopoly. This guy Dolan actually sucks. And there is a lot of conflict that's just because there's this bad king. There's just a son of a bitch that runs everything and everybody hates him. And he's starting to get a lot of pressure for like, you just want peace, but no justice. We want true peace and justice. And that's a little bit of a heavier lift for you. And Dolan's a bad guy. So Lew Wallace makes an offer to Billy the Kid through their fuckery and correspondence. He says, look, I will give you a pardon too, a full pardon, which you know you'll never escape. You shot Sheriff Brady dead in the middle of the street. You'll never escape. I will pardon you for that if you come to Lincoln and testify against Dolan for the murder that you have told plenty of people you saw while you worked for him when Dolan shot a district attorney. You come to Lincoln, you and we can't get people to testify because if you testify against Dolan,
bang, bang,
he's going to want to kill you. But he already wants to kill you.
Yeah.
So
you got nothing to lose.
You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Unless
right?
this is a setup.
And we could stick it to Dolan too.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And Billy's like, okay. He says, sure, you know what? Fuck it. What do I have to lose? Also, you have to arrest me, make it convincing. I have a reputation to maintain.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Oh, thank God.
Exactly. So they arrest Billy the Kid. They bring him to Lincoln, which is already like the quantity of times people are lynched, shot while in custody is astronomical. So it is him taking a huge risk just to agree to go back to jail in Lincoln. Like,
yeah.
Dolan can kind of do whatever he wants. So this is impressive, right? Not only does he go, he testifies, and his testimony is good enough to get an indictment. We have an indictment on Dolan. Is there justice? Is there justice in the Wild West at last?
No.
The district attorney refuses to prosecute.
There's the no.
There's the no. Some of us alive today could say there's a familiarity with this kind of deep corruption that renders justice impossible.
My history that I've decided to tell myself, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, good for you. You know what? Bliss, ignorance, exactly. Bliss, holding hands, just giving away. Exactly. But Billy is like, well, that sucks. But I lived up to my end of the bargain. I did every fucking thing I could. I put my shit in your dumb fucking jail. And the governor is like, I know, but like, I look at it now and I'm kind of like, I have nothing to show for this. And like, you did kill the sheriff dead in the middle of the street. So like, it's gonna be really hard for me to like explain to people how I just like let you go, even though,
no.
And Billy Kid's like, I totally get it. I totally get it. And you know what? Take your time. Think it over while I moonwalk out of here. And Billy the Kid fucking escapes from the Lincoln County Jail that fucking day, Kerstin. That fucking day, Kerstin.
Oh, I love this story.
Oh, which is sexy in and of itself. But think about the fact that he got out of that burning house.
Yes.
And by escaping from the jail the day that he kind of is like, where's my pardon? And they're like, yeah, we don't know. Means he could have escaped at any point.
Yeah.
He only stayed because he was like, where's my pardon?
Yeah. He's like, I kind of want to go legit now. I kind of think it would be cool.
I could have some goats.
And they're like, nah. And he's like, yeah, true. I didn't want to go legit. That kind of sucked.
Never mind. Bye, bitch. Like, oh, God. Be still in my heart. So now picture him. Oh, no. What is Billy going to do? He should get the fuck out of New Mexico is what he should do. What he should have did a long time ago is go to fucking Mexico or anywhere or just, I don't know, 300 miles and you're just, and you know.
But that's why we love him.
But
He stuck around.
It is why we love him because he stays in New Mexico and specifically, girl, historians are slightly divided, but our guy Utley confirms that he might have stayed for a girl.
I was going to ask. That's where the whole woman thing, I was like, there's got to be a girl.
Right? Somebody's got to get a piece of this ass. Tell me this guy.
It can't just be us coming.
It can't be. I mean, surely somebody else noticed that he's firing his guns and riding horses.
He's that good with guns. I'm just saying.
These trigger fingers got other applications.
Yeah.
Her name is Pauletta Maxwell.
Oh, God, she's hot too.
She's hot too. She's the daughter of a very rich landowner. He bought, her father, Lucian Maxwell, bought the Fort Sumner. So remember I was telling you the sort of like history of the New Mexican territory and how it was like Mexican and then it was like gold rush and there was all this shit. So after the Civil War was done, there's all these forts, like really nice forts that they built out there. And when they were like, okay, bye, this rich landowner was like, I'm going to buy Fort Sumner. And so he bought the whole fort and made it into a town. He converted the officers' quarters into a 20-room mansion. And he like has tens of thousands of heads of cattle. And he's just, right? Dream.
And wait, he bought it? He didn't just go to it and be like, this is mine now?
Well, it was after the Civil War. So this is after the like settlers. He had to pay somebody. But I think it was not that much. And it was the U.S., you know, who knows. But little Pauletta. Maxwell's like, a lot of guys out here. You guys notice that? I'm going to take my pick. Because she's not a babe. She's cute enough, but Pauletta could pick who she wanted, and she picked well. Let's just say that.
Oh, yeah.
So if people are like, why would he go to Fort Sumner? It's so close to everything. And like everybody knew him there. And you're like, there's probably 3 reasons why. And it's the one you think. So
wait, what are the other two? There are two other options.
Well, she's got 2 tits and maybe a friend.
There we go.
there's also a nice restaurant in town. But he goes with his buddies because the regulators were tight. And like some have come and gone for various reasons, but there is kind of a core group established. And girl, you meet him in Young Guns, Eve Chavez, played by Lou Diamond Phillips. Yes. You've got Charlie Baudry and Tom O'Farlane. These guys are kind of like the dyed-in-the-wool, true blue, old regulator buddies. And they're also wanted. And Pat Garrett has been like, I'm coming to get you guys. And Charlie Baudry, who lives in Fort Sumner, was like, hey, Pat Garrett, good news. I want to go straight. Can't wait. I'm married. I got like a dozen kids already. Like, let's set this up. And Pat Garrett comes to Fort Sumner and shoots Tom O'Farlane just in the streets. Like, you're on my list. Bam, you did.
Done.
Charlie and Billy fuck off to a place called, get this, Stinkin' Springs. I know. Stinking Springs, amazing.
Home sweet home.
Home sweet home. Already love it. So Stinking Springs has one building apparently in the middle of it, and it is a one door, no windows, just like an open door with no actual door, a doorway.
That's why it's stinking.
And it's exactly like get a breeze through here. You could be well ventilated springs with just a little effort. And so they're kind of down in this little adobe, right? And Pat Garrett's posse rides up on it. Charlie Baudry comes out to like check on a horse. They shoot him dead. And Billy is like, boy, fuck, I'm going to do the math here. I'm really good at getting out of jail. Puts his hands up and says, I surrender. And he surrenders himself to Pat Garrett and his posse. And Pat Garrett is familiar with Billy. They know each other. Okay. Some people said they were friends. They were definitely acquaintances.
Ex-friends.
Ex-friends, exactly. And but Billy understands the code of the West too. And he's sort of like, you're sheriff, your job is to get me. I get it. You know me, my job is to get away. So I have my hands up, you got me. You're not going to kill me now because you know I'm unarmed, right? And Packard's like, of course. Takes him into custody. And then Billy says, listen, you've arrested me or you take me, I get it. But like, you know I'm going to get shot and like lynched and caught and all this stuff. And like the governor has his own beef with me now. So now even the legitimate government folks are going to try to kill me. And Pat Garrett says, I will deliver you alive to the court. And if we get right up on, and if there is danger, I will give you a gun and I will give you the chance to defend yourself.
Oh, he is a friend.
Yeah, he is. It's not all bad. No. Anyway, so Billy the Kid goes to trial and is found guilty because he definitely shot Sheriff Brady dead in the middle of the street. Like, he is guilty. And he is sentenced to hang.
Ooh.
Fuck.
Nah, he's going to escape.
And now we got to handcuff him real good. But we got to, you're right. And you ain't the only one whispering it. We got to handcuff this guy twice. Guys, he escapes. Okay? This is what we know about this guy. He's skinny, he's little, he escapes. So all the handcuffs, we shackle his legs, we shackle his hands, and then we shackle them legs and hands to a wall. And we put him on the second floor in the back. Okay? And there's a couple of other prisoners in there too. They're not associates of his. And we have these 2 guards. Now, here's what's interesting. Keep this in your back pocket. He's in the Lincoln County Jail, shackled to all hell, and is about to be executed in like 2 days, hung up. They're waiting for the gallows. And Pat Garrett goes on an errand out of town for 3 days. He's got a thing. It's not even that specific what it is. It's not a big deal. He's not needed, but he does. He goes out of town for 2 days. And Billy the Kid is being guarded by 2 guys, J.B. Bell and a guy named Olinger. And Billy fucking likes Bell and fucking hates Olinger. I think he had an old beef with this guy Olinger, and he was mean to him, probably slapping him around. You know what I mean? Taking advantage of just being a cunt while you're handcuffed and shit.
Oh, yeah. And his name sucks.
Olinger.
Olinger.
I don't know.
Oh, it's kind of fun.
And once you say it 3 times, you get into it.
Yeah, never mind.
But the trick is that jails are a problem. They don't have enough jails. They don't build. This jail looks like a hotel. And so you have to take them somewhere to eat and go to the bathroom. Like, there are moments where even though they're shackled, you got to move them around. And it happens about twice a day. So on the morning of April 28th, 1881, a couple days before his scheduled execution, J.B. Bell takes Billy the Kid, as scheduled, out to an outhouse to relieve himself, while Olinger takes a couple of other guards across the street to eat breakfast, which I'm already like, this jail seems great. I'm like, I feel like this is nice. This is nice. Things are going well here. Yeah. Billy the Kid then comes out of the outhouse. Bell starts to walk him back up the stairs to shackle him back in his room. And at the top of the stairs, Billy turns around, struggles with Bell, gets his gun, shoots Bell at the top of the stairs. Bell falls back down the stairs, rolls out the door, stumbles a few yards, dies. There's a white plaque where he died. Our buddy Jerry Skinner will show you where it is. Sounds of gunfire, hard to miss. Olinger comes running. Now, while he's doing that, Billy, with his leg shackles and arm shackles, gets up the stairs into the gun room because they put it on the same floor where they keep their prisoners.
Oh, smart.
And he looks for his favorite gun, gets his favorite gun, goes to a second floor window, sees Olinger running towards the house. Olinger sees Bell dead on the ground, and then hears Billy the Kid say, "Hi, Bob." Oh. Bob looks up, and Billy shoots him dead.
Oh.
Now, at this point, the townspeople are like, oh, now these are the only 2 guards. They were the only ones there, and they're dead. And Pat Garrett's gone. And you may recall, they deputized the regulators to go get the guys. Like, they don't have guys. They're not people available. We don't have a fire department. You know what I'm saying? So the townspeople are like, oh, boy. And Billy starts yelling, get me something to get these cuffs off. Help me. And they do. Listen to this. Kerstin, listen to this. They help him, first of all, crack his ankle restraints in half. So they get a pick so at least he can open his legs and get onto it. They get him a horse, a saddled horse, okay? Which the first time he gets on, he falls off. So somebody holds his guns for him. I'm not kidding. I got you, Billy. Hold his guns for him while he gets on the horse again. Hand him his guns back. And then he says, hey, guys, don't panic. I will return the horse.
Aw.
I appreciate it. And he rides off.
And they packed him sandwiches.
They gave him some sandwich, gave him a Lunchable.
Oh, nice.
Which was, I thought was nice. He was like, ooh, a Capri Sun.
Yes.
And sure as shit, 2 days later, that horse rides back into town.
Aw.
With a little note that says, you guys are the besties.
Oh.
I made up the note. But the horse does go.
XOXO.
XOXO. Thanks for everything, XO Billy. Actually, he had beautiful handwriting.
Did he?
He could read and write, and he wrote really beautifully, actually.
Cursive? Mm-hmm. Oh,
I know.
that's lovely. I wish he wouldn't have killed the bell guy, but you know.
He didn't want to either.
Yeah.
And he told people later, he's like, I didn't want to kill him. Now, here's where people say that story may deviate some from reality. Some people say that someone stashed a gun in that outhouse
Oh, yeah.
and that he came out of the outhouse with a gun. And which, considering the way the townspeople treated him, it doesn't seem like the furthest thing from reality that they might have wanted to help him before, right? Some people say that it's mistaken. He actually spun around and used his handcuffs to hit J.B. Bell and never intended to shoot him. But then Bell started struggling and he took his gun and shot him at that point. So if you would like to keep the image of him as a really, really good guy in your head, you have a lot of avenues
Oh, thank you. Thank
to
you.
pursue.
I needed that.
Okay. Good.
And Paula's there and Joseph
And
is
she's like,
watching.
you're doing great. Yeah. And Joseph is like, just as we planned, little brother. Yeah.
And now I'm going to go back and disappear. Yay. High five.
Yeah. But now our guy, Pat Garrett, is in a bit of a pickle,
Yeah.
right? Because this is, he's sheriff now.
He
and
knew he was going to escape. We all knew.
we all knew. I mean, even before I knew.
Yeah.
And Pat Garrett couldn't have not known, but he's now, if you want to keep your job, you got to go.
He stashed the gun in the outhouse.
Oh, you aren't the only one, girl. I got so much fun for you guys.
Oh my God. This gets better and better.
It does. Okay, but according to the official history,
Yes.
he's on the person. He's got to chase down Billy the Kid. He's got to find him.
Yeah.
His career, his reputation, everything hinges on this, right? And if you want to read The Authentic Life of Billy the Kid, written by Pat Garrett, you can hear him tell you in the first person what he was thinking. And he is a dedicated sheriff. He is a man of the law, and he will do his duty. So he goes back to Fort Sumner. Well, Billy the Kid, honey, this is your second jailbreak, baby. What are you doing here? And even Pat Garrett is like, there's no way. Like, we have to stop there in the same way that the police have to be like, we have to interview the boyfriend or husband because they probably did it. But in some instances, like, they didn't. You know, you could, even though I have to look here, but it probably was. This time they were like, we're not gonna, okay, yeah, Fort Sumner, because that's where his friend. And they're like, well, here we are. Now, here's what happens on July 14th, 1881.
Oh, I don't like that year.
Lucian Maxwell, Pauletta's dad, has sadly passed away.
Oh, no.
And currently in charge of Fort Sumner is his son, Pete. And Pete Maxwell is a buddy of all these guys. He was buddies with Charlie. He was buddies with Tom. He was buddies with Billy. And he took over his dad's legacy. And he would also, running this town, he'd kind of rather people stopped getting fucking shot too in the town. Like, this isn't great. It's great for tourism now. People go to Fort Sumner and are like, where'd everybody get shot? But at the time, it wasn't great for tourism, right? And also possibly he didn't like that Billy the Kid was fucking his sister.
Oh, yeah. Some people
Right?
have issues with that.
Also a problem. On the night of July 14th, 1881, Pat Garrett is in Fort Sumner near the house of Pete Maxwell, and he has two guards standing guard outside the gate. And they've been kind of patrolling the town, listening for rumors, seeing what's going on. Pat goes up to Pete Maxwell's room to say, is Billy here? Have you seen him? I know he's not. I'm sure he's not. But I have to do all this dumb shit. At the exact same time, our guy Billy.
No.
Now there's three versions, and they are almost equally told. So I'll tell you all three right now. He's walking to Pauletta's room from his own lodgings. He is walking from Pauletta's room
I like that. He just got laid.
back to his own. I like that version too. Or he's going from either his room or Pauletta's room to the main kitchen to get some bacon that is often hanging in the window of the kitchen.
Well, if he gets nabbed in between that, again, that's the sadder story.
What we know is that he does not have any guns with him, according to the history. I find that impossible to believe, but there you go.
You don't need a gun when you get bacon.
Exactly. As he's walking towards Pete Maxwell's house to get the bacon, he sees the 2 guards and goes, oh, shit, and gets down low and sneaks into the house to try to see what the fuck is going on. Are they here for me? Are they looking around? Are they about to leave? What can I hear? And he goes up to Pete Maxwell's room.
Oh, no.
And he walks in the room. It's dark. And he says, "Qui es?" which is Spanish for who is it? And Pat Garrett recognizes his voice, fires into the darkness, killing Billy the Kid.
No.
His body is positively identified by Pauletta. And another interesting gal named Devana, who is a full-blooded Indian that the Maxwell family adopted and made be a housekeeper all the time. It's complicated. She fucking loved Billy the Kid and she hated Pat Garrett. And she said they killed my boy. Like she loved him.
Aww.
So, before we get into the conspiracy theories and alternate history on that whole thing, do you have any questions?
Why'd you have to kill Billy the Kid?
Why? He was just a baby. I could have fixed him.
He would have gotten better. He was still a kid. His name had kid in it.
His name had kid in it. He would have been one of the best, 80-year-old kids.
Oh my God, yes.
Right? Well, lots and lots of people.
Yeah.
From the very moment that whole thing happened went, nah. You think we invented conspiracy theories, girl. Okay? It is part of the reason why Pat Garrett wrote his book in 1882. Okay? In the opening part of the book, he says, you want to know why I wrote the book? I'll tell you. Because there's people making shit up that either make Billy better than he was, like this glowing hero, which he was not, or they're making him out to be some sort of villain, some sort of snaggletooth baddie who would just kill without thinking about it. And he wasn't that either. Mm-hmm. So he sort of starts from a fair and balanced, you know what I mean, point of view. And he also, there's an endearing moment at the end. He says, another reason I wrote this book is because some people say that I was a coward, that I shot him in the dark because I was hiding from him. And he goes, to that I say, that would make sense. I should have hid from him. He's like, if I would have known Billy, Billy the Kid was the best gunslinger in the West. If I would have known he was walking into a room I was in, you bet your ass I would have hid. He's like, but I didn't. That's not how it went. It went the way I just told you. So there's some elements of his book that are he seems to understand your skepticism.
Yeah.
And he gives you some interesting counterpoints, but historians are like, that's bullshit. But the rumors started. Why did these rumors start? Why were people even like, that wasn't Billy? Okay. Some people say Pat Garrett never got the bounty. There was a $500 bounty on him, and Pat Garrett never got it. So, that seems proof. And they said you would only get the bounty if you could prove. You had to have positive identity.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And people are like, well, so he must not have ever gotten that positive identity. That must not have been official. Otherwise, he would have gotten his bounty. So some people have based their entire theory on, Pat Garrett never got the bounty. But they're wrong. He totally got the that's just complete. That's a debunked part. He did get the bounty. There was a hang up with it because he had gotten the bounty the first time because he had arrested Billy the Kid twice, if you remember. And the first time he arrested him at Stinking Springs, he got his bounty. Boom, right away.
Yeah.
And the second time he killed him, he was like, I get my bounty. And they were like, right. We kind of feel like we need to look at that again. Even if we are going to give it to you again, we have to explain why there's a duplicate. So it was bureaucracy. Okay. But he got it. And there was a guy, so the 2 guards that were there, one of the guards knew Billy the Kid, had seen him before, but vaguely, and it was a long time ago. And the other guy had never seen Billy.
Oh, okay.
And the one who saw him said, when he ran up the stairs, he said, you shot the wrong guy. Somebody heard that being said and stuck with it. When people point to the fact that Pauletta and Devana positively ID'd him, they just flip it on its head and say, who would be more interested in being like, yep, he's dead. Looks to me like you should just put this whole thing behind you.
Oh, yeah. Here's the body. Take it. Great.
Yeah, exactly right. So this has been sort of in these subtext long before the internet, however these ideas spread, there had been murmurings that Billy the Kid could still be alive.
Wait, where did he get shot? Was it in the face? Because if it was in the face, I might say that's not Billy the Kid.
That's right. Well, we don't have any photographs of his body, which is also not that uncommon, but a little bit, because like we got the whole Jesse James gang is like a virtual gallery of macabre, just body. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's no photograph of his body. They did actually try to test DNA. There was like a petition to get the DNA from his mother's grave, Kathleen McCarty, we know her. And there was blood on the table where they like laid out his body for identification. They were like, maybe we can get a little blood from this table and a little blood from his mom's grave and we could confirm it. But it's like blood from a table. Like you're telling me nobody's else ever bled on the table, and they were like, we don't know. And his body was buried. This is another suspicion. They buried his body the next day. And that area is flooded all the time. So like we know the bodies are long gone. They wouldn't even bother looking.
Oh, yeah.
So people are like, they buried him the next day. That's crazy. You're like, it's July in the
Ew.
West.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, you bury him
Right away.
right away.
That thing gets stinky. Oh, is that the stinky town?
Talk about stinking springs.
They're not burying their bodies fast enough.
Exactly. Okay, but over the years then, things were heightened by the fact that a bunch of people have come forward and said, I'm Billy the Kid. It's kind of like D.B. Cooper. Like, if nobody knows, then why not me? Although he died when he was 21, which means you can be Billy the Kid for like decades viably, right? So I'm going to tell you now about my absolute favorite theory that Billy the Kid was not murdered.
Yes.
In 1881 by Pat Garrett. Okay.
Yes.
Are you ready? Because like the history for like how this story even comes around is like so toe curling. Okay. You and me, we're going into the future. So we've got the dusty spurs of our boots from the 1880s. Come with me 67 years into the future.
Okay.
To the post-World War II, 1948. We've got highways and roads. We've got UFO conspiracies. We've got nuclear weapons. We've got, it is an entirely different world out here. Okay.
I did not realize those were so close. It's so weird.
Thank you for,
hearing.
it's nuts. And it's even shorter. I mean, it was like 40 years even, but just when the railroad, planes, cars, nuclear weapons, radio. Exactly. It's staggering for a reason. So, but they're still really boring jobs. And the guy that
What?
It's still like, even though the times are all very exciting, we are getting into the car with a guy named William V. Morrison, who is a probate attorney. His job is, if there's a dispute on who owns what property and in the will, you claim this is yours, he gets in his 1948 car and he drives out there and figures it out. And on this particular day, he's driving out into the middle of fucking nowhere in New Mexico. And there's this old as dirt guy named Joe Hines, who's like saying that he owns his brother's property, his recently deceased brother. And so he's sitting down with this guy. But what he realizes very quickly is this guy, Joe Hines, is not boring. He is fucking fascinating. And this probate attorney is suddenly just like wrapped with this old man clicking away, telling him about his times in the Lincoln County War and the cowboys and the Indians and the gunslinging. And to your point exactly, it's nostalgic, but it's just not that far away. And this guy, William Morrison, isn't the only one who's obsessed with the West, obsessed with the legend of these old West cowboys and this time when the West was wild before we were confined to our cars and our cubicles and our nuclear weapons. Oh, to go back to a time when I could just be monopolized by Dolan. You know what I mean? And TV is reflecting it. Now, not in 1948, but in the 50s, get a load of this list of TV and movies that were Westerns. Like, there's a reason you and I live in Hollywood. We all know Western sets. Like, it was such a fixture of those times that they built entire just non-moving sets just knowing that we were going to be rolling through them, right? The Lone Ranger, Gunsmoke, Bonanza, The Rifleman, Wagon Train, Have Gun Will Travel, Cayenne, Tales of Wells Fargo, Death Valley Days, Laramie, The Legend of Wyatt Earp, Fury, Wanted Dead or Alive, The Range Rider, and Hopalong Cassidy were all made within 8 years of each other.
Oh my gosh.
We're obsessed.
Wow.
Okay. So William Morrison's like, God, this is nuts. And Joe Hines is like, knows when you're reeling one in. right? And he's like, oh, if that really makes you crazy. Oh, I shouldn't say this. No, I shouldn't. I can't tell you. I can't. Yes, okay, I'll tell you. If you really want to know the wildest shit I know, it's this. Billy the Kid was not killed by Pat Garrett in 1881, and he lives today. And I was like, what? And he goes, I can't say anymore. I won't tell you who he is or where he is. And William Morrison gets into his 1948 car and drives away from Joe Hines' house with like a fire in his belly. He's hilfing. Okay, this guy's got a hilf up his ass and he can't let it go. Billy the Kid's alive. This old man knows. What does he know? And he's a probate attorney, but like he knows how to do some investigation, girl, right? Yeah. So he gets into the libraries and he gets into the letters and he is investigating. And then he finds this old con man who said he was somebody and finds out that's the monk. But he doesn't care. I know you're not that guy, but you might know people who are. And he goes, oh yeah, I know. I know the guy who you're looking for, the real Billy the Kid. He lives in Hamilton, Texas, and he goes by the name of O.L. Roberts. And Morrison's like, oh my God, I got his name and his location. So he goes to him and he starts to write him letters. Are you the guy? I know, I'd really love to talk to you to figure it out. And eventually, after many, many letters are written back and forth, Bushy Bill Roberts, as he is known by his friends, says, all right, you got me. Boy, you're a hell of an investigator. Guess what? I am Billy the Kid. And by the way, Young Guns 2, which is also great, starts off with the like, I'm Billy, like some things never die. Like you meet old Billy the Kid and then it goes back. It's so good. It starts in the 50s. It's so good.
Oh my God. This is another day of drinking wine and watching
This
movies.
is playing Young Guns 1, Young Guns 2. Just let them roll. Keep them going. So he writes him. He's like, yes, I am him. And he's like, I want to write about you. I want to meet you. I want to bring you into the public eye. I want to bring you out of the shadows. Billy, you're back. Billy, baby, you're back. And he says, all I want. He says, I will come out. I will come out and I'll tell the world who I am. But what I want is my pardon. The one that Lou Wallace offered me. I want that pardon. I want to live a free man under my real name.
Yeah.
And Morrison's like, oh my God. So people are going nuts. People are fucking stoked. So Governor Mabry is like, sure, drag this carcass out. Let's, look at his birthmarks and see if he's the guy. And he meets him, talks to him, looks at his evidence, meets some of his family. Bushy Bill Roberts, by the way, had also demonstrated how he gets out of handcuffs and stuff to like further enhance that he was him.
Yes.
And Governor Mabry is unconvinced. Denies
So he won't pardon him.
his pardon and says, you're not him.
And then Bushy escapes.
Yeah, exactly. And he moonwalks out of there. No, well, in a way, sort of. He dies.
That's an
He dies
escape.
about 2 weeks later,
Oh, what?
leaving you and me and untold scores of others to go, it was totally him.
We still have no clue. No, I mean, there's no for real evidence.
It's one of those ecstatic unknowns with just enough. There's just enough little sinew of beautiful doubt to give your wonderful imagination
I like this story.
a lot of butter. Oh,
yeah.
Well, that, my friend Kerstin, is the history of Billy the Kid. What'd you think?
I loved it. I loved it so much. Oh, there were so many ups and downs. I wasn't sure what to do with myself.
So watch Young Guns 2, and then go to my notes, and you'll find links to all the books that I read and all the documentaries I saw, and you can go through and be like, Bushy Bill Roberts. You can make your own conclusion.
I need to see some pictures. I mean, there's one horrible picture of Billy the Kid, so I can't really compare. But I can compare to what I have in my mind. So
That's right.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
It matches the image in my head.
Okay, good. And when you have seen Billy the Kid, will you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Send me a text.
Oh, yeah.
Message me right away
Yes.
and tell me what you think. Because there's also a scene where they all do peyote.
Wait, when you said when I see Billy the Kid, you mean
I mean
Young
the
Guns?
movie. It's not. I mean Young Guns.
Okay, okay.
If you see Billy the Kid, though, for sure call me too. Like,
Oh, yeah.
that you have to call me that too. But there's a scene where they all do peyote and have like a mushroom trip out in the canyon to like figure out what to do next. And I'm just like, it's so stupid. It's so great. It's so wonderful. The movie just like when it sticks to the history, Young Guns really sticks to the history. There's even some photographs you'll see in this where you're like, I see the costume designer clearly did their homework, and like they are wearing some of the exact outfits that like you see them in photographs. This is great. And you're like, oh my God, the turkeys.
Yeah.
John Tunstall being shot after they go chase the turkeys. Like the movie just like totally nails that. And when they hang a poetic left, they swerve hard and are like, and they all got totally rockin' psychedelic stoned together and have a mushroom trip out there in the canyon. And you're like, great, let's see it. Let's see how that went. Show us, movie makers.
Have a little break with a little bit of fun. I like it.
Yeah, why not?
But at that time, were people doing peyote and having fun little mushroom trips, or do we not know?
Well, I mean, the native populations always used some amount of like peyote and psychedelics in some of their rituals and stuff. And one of the regulators, Chavez E. Chavez, played by Lou Diamond Phillips in the movie, sort of implies that like it is his people's tradition. When you are lost and you don't know which way to go, we're all going to do this ceremony. So there's some touchstone to it. I have not, in my historical research, found a significant amount of like psychedelic use among cowboys.
Okay.
Opium kind of followed the railroad, but that wasn't quite the same. I can't say it never happened.
Okay.
I
All
wouldn't
right.
say it was a custom. Whorehouses? Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Gambling? Can't wait. Mushroom trip?
Maybe not so much.
Sounds like you're going to take my guns.
Well, or maybe I'll just put that in my my story of my alternate history.
Right. Exactly.
They had their own Burning Man. It was great.
It was great. They all held hands and were like, but when you think about it, we're all one.
Now let's go shoot each other.
As one.
Yes.
Oh, my friend Kerstin, this was so much fun. I'm so grateful for your time. Thank you. And I'm not done with you because I will, as we are both Flappers faves, and HILF Live happens every month at Flappers, I will insist that you come and get HILF'd.
Oh,
live.
please.
What will be your subject? What's your HILF for me to do for you live on stage?
Oh my gosh. I have to think about it. But
It's tough. It's a big question.
I told you I do like cults and MK Ultra and that whole thing. I mean, psychedelics.
What about Jim Jones?
Oh, and that's fascinating.
Because of his sideburns and everything? Okay, maybe we'll HILF Jim Jones.
Okay. Ooh, I like that.
Thanks again to Kerstin Porter. Go see her live and follow her everywhere. You can do that by clicking on her links in the show notes. And listen, if you're in LA, mark that first Thursday of every month for HILF Public School as I take my full frontal history to Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank, which guess what many of you have? All right, I just can't tell you what it has meant to see you there in person. Girl, fans are dropping in. They're saying hi. They're sitting alone in the back. I see you back there. And it fills my sails, okay? And this live show is honestly like increasingly my absolute favorite thing to do. Okay, I have the best guests. The history is nuts. The audience is amazing. Join us. It's such a blast. You can find tickets in the show notes. And until next time, our theme song was composed and performed by Kat Perkins. Artwork for HILF is designed by Joe Dressel. And a reminder that you can find my sources, links to the books, documentaries, and articles I reference in the summary of this episode or by emailing us, hilfpodcast@gmail.com, or messaging us on social media @hilfpodcast. And if you'd like to leave a little cash on the nightstand, that's nice. You can find me on Patreon or buy me a coffee. Links to these and more are all in the show notes. This has been HILF. History I'd Like to Fuck with Dawn Brody. I'm Dawn Brody, reminding you that history is a party and everybody's coming.